So if you're anything like me, you've probably spent time studying what wealthy people actually do with their money. And after a while, you start to see the same pattern. They put their dollars into what they call appreciating assets, then borrow against those assets, never triggering a taxable event and staying protected from lawsuits. It's smart. That strategy keeps them in control. So my introduction to this wasn't too different from yours, probably because I read Rich Dad Poor Dad just like you, and so many of us, I got hooked on the idea of like passive income. That freedom where your income exceeds your monthly expenses. That's when you can do what you want with your time. You can go travel, you can take the kids to the park, work because you choose to, not necessarily because you have to. When I got deeper into real estate, I had what most investors have. I had a working capital account, and whether it's 50 grand or 50 million, that's money that sits somewhere waiting to be deployed at any time. I had 32 rental units and was fully in the game when I met a guy named Justin Kraft here in Birmingham. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Someone else had mentioned this infinite banking thing before. I flat out just dismissed it. But I found a guy I trusted Justin, so I gave him the time of day. And here's what changed my perspective. He didn't tell me to stop investing in real estate. He said, what if you could enhance what you're already doing just by changing where you store your dry powder, your money? That clicked. I wasn't giving up what I knew. I was just improving how I use my own capital. So he handed me a copy of Becoming Your Own Banker by Nelson Nash, and I read it again, wrote down questions, and it blew my mind because the message wasn't replace your investments. It was keep doing what works, but reposition where your capital lives. So take it from over here and put it over there. That led me to start asking questions like, who else is doing this? So I found out quickly that a ton of business owners, real estate investors, lots of doctors, lawyers, and people with serious money all use these properly structured whole life insurance contracts. But here's the thing, Wall Street doesn't talk about it because it doesn't pay them a commission. Wall Street guys make money on mutual funds and market volatility. This strategy puts us in control. So let me say this, I was raised a Dame Ramsey guy, and Dave did a lot for, the whole buy term and invest the rest. But here's what I saw firsthand. So many people who follow that path never take any sort of risk because they're afraid to lose. But guess what? If you're always afraid to lose, you're never gonna win. Every wealthy investor I spoke to who had assets in real estate or businesses, and many of them also had these properly structured life insurance contracts. Then I looked into how bank and corporations operate. So look up BOLI, bank-owned life insurance, and then corporate-owned life insurance. Banks own billions with a B in whole life policies, and it's not talked about on CNBC, but it's actually really real. Here's what sold me. When I put money into a policy, it keeps compounding even when I borrow against it. That's because I'm not using my money, I'm using the life insurance company's money. My cash value keeps growing, uninterrupted, guaranteed, and here's the thing, tax-free. People say buy term and invest rates. Fine, do that, but realize the market goes up and down and sideways, and you have zero control at that point. Whole life isn't an investment, it's a warehouse for your capital. It's a strategy that gives you your dollar two jobs. If you stuck around this long, you're probably someone with no capital, and maybe you just want to protect it from lawsuits or shield it from future taxes. If that's you, shoot me a DM, I'll send you my calendar and we can hop on a call. I'll walk through exactly how I use my policies to invest in more real estate, to do private lending, buy more assets. I'm using other people's money in an unstructured way. I'm never going back to using bank financing. I just have my own cash. I've got 5 policies working for me right now, and it's changed everything. If this is speaking to you, DM me and I'll send you my calendar and we can set up a call.